Imagine an object with the mass of our sun that's over 300,000 times the mass of the Earth. Now, picture all of that. Every mountain, every ocean, every single atom, crushed down into a space the size of a city. The result is an object so dense it's hard to wrap your head around. A place where gravity is about 200 billion times stronger than it is here on Earth. But as wild as that is, its density isn't even the most astonishing part. It's the speed. Imagine that city-sized ball spinning faster than a kitchen blender, hundreds of times every second. This isn't science fiction. This is a pulsar, the hyper-fast ghost of a dead star. So, how does a star die so violently that its corpse is left spinning at a huge fraction of the speed of light? And what's stopping it from spinning even faster and tearing itself apart? The answers take us on a trip to the very edge of physics, into the most extreme environments in the cosmos. To build the fastest spinning object in the universe, you first have to know how to kill a star. And not just any star, you need a massive one. At least 8 times the mass of our sun. For millions of years, this stellar giant lives in a delicate balance. Deep in its core, gravity is constantly trying to crush it. Pushing back is the incredible energy from nuclear fusion. For most of its life, the star fuses hydrogen into helium, then helium into carbon, and so on, creating a layered, onion-like structure of heavier and heavier elements. Each fusion stage unleashes a torrent of energy, providing the outward pressure needed to keep gravity at bay. But this process has a dead end: iron. Unlike the lighter elements, trying to fuse iron atoms doesn't release energy, it consumes it. The moment the star's core is full of iron, its power source is cut off instantly. The balance is shattered. With fusion gone, gravity wins, and it wins catastrophically. The core, a ball of iron bigger than the Earth, collapses under its own staggering weight. In less than a second, a process that took millions of years to build comes to a final, violent end in a matter of milliseconds. The star's outer layers, suddenly unsupported, crash inward at a quarter of the speed of light, only to slam into the brand-new, ultra-dense core. This impact creates a shockwave of unimaginable power, blasting the rest of the star out into space in a brilliant explosion we call a supernova. For a few weeks, this one event can outshine an entire galaxy of billions of stars. It's a funeral pyre of cosmic proportions. But what's left behind isn't just a corpse. It's a new and frankly terrifying kind of stellar object. Left behind in the glowing mess of the supernova is the collapsed core of the original star. This is a neutron star. During that collapse, the pressure was so intense, it overcame the forces that keep atoms apart. Protons and electrons were literally squeezed together to form a sea of neutrons, packed as tightly as an atom's nucleus. The result is matter so dense that a single teaspoon of it would weigh as much as Mount Everest. A normal-sized matchbox filled with this stuff would weigh about 3 billion tons. The mass of our sun, or even more, is now packed into a sphere only about 20 kilometers, or 12 miles, across. The gravity here is just astronomical. If you were to drop something from a meter high, it would smash into the surface at over 1,000 kilometers per second. Of course, you couldn't get that close. Any object would be ripped apart by tidal forces long before impact, a process gruesomely known as spaghettification. This newborn neutron star is one of the most extreme things in the universe. Basically, a city-sized atomic nucleus floating in space. And the violence of its birth gave it another extraordinary property: incredible speed. So why do neutron stars spin so ridiculously fast? It all comes down to a fundamental law of physics, the conservation of angular momentum. The easiest way to picture this is with an ice skater. When the skater spins with their arms stretched out, they rotate at a certain speed, but when they pull their arms in, they suddenly spin much faster. Their mass didn't change, but by bringing it closer to their center, they have to spin faster to keep their angular momentum the same. The exact same thing happens to a collapsing star. The original star was huge and rotated pretty slowly, maybe once every few weeks. But as its core collapsed from thousands of kilometers in diameter down to just a dozen, its rotation was amplified to an almost unbelievable degree. Just like the ice skater pulling in their arms, the collapsing core had to spin faster. This initial spin-up is huge, leaving the brand new neutron star rotating hundreds of times every second. For many neutron stars, this is as fast as they'll ever go. Over millions of years, they gradually slow down. But for a select few, this is just the beginning. The fastest spinning stars in the universe are called millisecond pulsars, and they almost always have a secret weapon, a companion star. If the two stars are in a close enough orbit, the neutron star's insane gravity starts pulling material gas and dust away from its partner. This stolen material forms a swirling, superheated structure around the neutron star called an accretion disk. As the matter in this disk spirals inward, it doesn't just fall straight down. It carries its orbital energy or angular momentum with it. This energy gets transferred to the neutron star, acting like a constant push that spins it up faster and faster. This recycling process can go on for hundreds of millions of years, relentlessly accelerating the neutron star's spin. This cosmic vampirism is how an old, slowed-down neutron star can be rejuvenated and spun up to become one of the fastest objects we know of. This is how we get the true record holders. The fastest confirmed pulsar, PSR J1748 2446ad, was found rotating at an incredible 716 times every single second. Its equator is moving at about 24% of the speed of light, that's over 70,000 kilometers per second. And very recently, observations of another star, 4U 1820-30, revealed thermonuclear bursts happening at a frequency of 716 Hz, suggesting it's spinning at the very same record-matching speed. It's one thing for these stars to spin like this, but how do we even know? We can't actually see the star itself from thousands of light years away. We see the effects of its spin. When the star's core collapsed, it didn't just conserve its angular momentum, it also massively amplified its magnetic field. Neutron stars have some of the most powerful magnetic fields in the entire universe. And often, these magnetic fields are not lined up with the star's spin axis. This misalignment is the key. The intense magnetic field creates powerful beams of electromagnetic radiation, radio waves, X-rays, you name it, that shoot out from the star's magnetic poles. As the neutron star spins, these beams sweep through space just like a cosmic lighthouse. If one of those beams happens to sweep past Earth, our telescopes see a pulse of radiation. For a star spinning hundreds of times a second, we detect hundreds of pulses per second, with a regularity so precise they rival atomic clocks. This is what we call a pulsar. In fact, it was the discovery of these clock-like signals in 1967 by Jocelyn Bell Burnell that gave us the first real evidence that neutron stars even existed. With some pulsars spinning at a quarter of the speed of light, an obvious question comes up. Is there a limit? What stops them from spinning faster and faster until they fly apart? The main speed limit is a fight between gravity and centrifugal force. The star's immense gravity is what holds it together against the incredible outward force of its rotation. But calculations show that if a pulsar were to spin up to around 1,500 times per second, even its monster gravity wouldn't be enough, and the star would start to break apart at its equator. But we've never seen a pulsar spin that fast. The confirmed record is 716 times per second, and there's only one tantalizing unconfirmed candidate, XTE J1748 2446ad, that was briefly spotted with a potential spin of 1,122 times per second. So why do they seem to hit a wall well below the theoretical breakup speed? The leading theory is that as a pulsar spins faster, it stops being a perfect sphere. Its crust, thought to be the strongest material in the universe, starts to deform and get bumpy. These tiny bumps, maybe only centimeters high, are enough to make the star radiate gravitational waves. A perfectly smooth spinning ball won't, but even a slightly bumpy one will. As the star tries to spin faster, it radiates more of these tiny ripples in spacetime, which carry away energy and momentum. This acts as a cosmic speed governor, preventing the star from spinning any faster. The more it tries to accelerate, the more energy it loses, creating a natural speed limit that seems to be right around the 700 to 800 times per second mark that we've observed. From the fiery death of a giant star to a tiny spinning corpse, the journey of a neutron star is one of the wildest stories the universe has to tell. They're born in violence, crushed to impossible densities, and spun to speeds that challenge the very fabric of matter. These cosmic lighthouses aren't just curiosities. They are natural laboratories for testing the limits of physics, from the nature of matter itself to the laws of gravity. So, while we haven't yet found a star that truly spins 1,000 times a second, the fact that objects spinning at 716 times a second exist at all shows us a universe that is more violent, more extreme, and way more fascinating than we can imagine. If you found this journey to the edge of physics as incredible as I did, consider subscribing for more explorations into the cosmos. And let us know in the comments, what cosmic mystery do you want us to tackle next?